Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Totalbiscuit, and I am here in a wonderful hotel room in the middle of San Francisco. It goes by the name of the Palace specifically. It's as cool as it sounds. And I'm here with two of the developers from Critical, aka the guys who are bringing you Dungeonland. So welcome, guys, to this wonderful room.
Thank you.
Thank you, DB. It's glad to be here.
Alright, so we had a chance to play through Dungeon Master mode, and depending on when this interview comes out, you may or may not have seen it. So we could be time traveling here. But let's start by introducing yourselves to the audience, and then we'll get into a few questions about Dungeonland.
Okay, so my name is Mark, and I'm the game designer of Dungeonland.
Yeah, I'm Gabriel. I'm lead artist at Critical Studio. We've done everything with Dungeonland here.
Alright, so we've had a chance to play the Dungeon Master mode, which is the fourth player, essentially. Why did you come up with the idea for a fourth player who wasn't actually a part of the party? In fact, it was quite the opposite. You're against your friends. Where did that idea come from?
No, I mean, I guess it was natural, right? Like, he is the owner of the park. He started the whole thing, and Mark knows it. His objective is just to kill the heroes.
Yeah, but
it was natural.
Yeah, the actual gameplay actually came from our producer Paradox. Like he just dropped the ball there at some point. That it's something that we really weren't safe. That we really wanted to try like a straightforward thing. We had this evil guy already. But we really didn't think it would be doable. So Paradox just go all the way with it. So go all the way. So Paradox really supported us on that, and I think it's paying off.
Yeah, we had the three players, and then they just came. Where's the fourth one?
Yeah.
We're like, it's gonna be tough. They're like, why don't you do the Dungeon Master mode? I'm like, yeah, okay, let's do it.
Oh, so the idea actually came from the publisher and not inside the studio.
Yeah, it was around. We had the idea before, but we thought it would be just, we're not going to be able to pitch this thing.
Right.
And they're just like, no, we love the idea.
Paradox is crazy enough that this kind of things work.
That doesn't actually surprise me from the studio that brought you Magicka. I mean, if those guys are willing to publish that, then let's be honest, they'll pretty much publish anything. But let's go on to the mechanics of the Dungeon Master mode. Now, I suppose the question is, where do you draw the line between abilities that are powerful enough to stop the heroes and too powerful in order to just kind of cause frustration? Because previously, there have only been a couple of games that have really tried this. One of them I remember, it went by the name of Zombie Master. It was a source mod, and one guy was the Zombie Master, everyone else were the survivors trying to complete the objectives, but it just degenerated into power gaming all the time. If you were ever playing in a pub, what happened was you would get the Zombie Master would just go out of his way to do every broken, overpowered thing he could possibly do to kill people off as much as possible, and it wasn't fun for the survivors. So how do you balance the fun when you've got four different people doing different things?
It's ridiculously hard at first. We're QAing this and testing this a lot since day one, so we already have a lot of iteration on this. We tried very, very different stuff to make sure that we have the right thing. But I think it pretty much comes down to, first of all, make sure that even if you lose as Dungeon Master, it's still fun. So we try to balance the game so that right now, so Dungeon Master gets so many tools and so much stuff, but it's not that easy to kill the heroes. The heroes have lots of resources.
Yep, exactly.
So even the Dungeon Master is having fun, like killing them really fast or wiping them out, they can still come back and do it again. And most matches, and the way that we're playing rewards, so you get more advancements and you unlock more stuff as Dungeon Master. If you win after a long match, than you would if you just win and wipe the heroes in the first.
Yeah, the flow inside the match helps it a lot. Like what Mark said, like since the heroes have so many how can I say, tools in their disposal too, like they're pretty deep. Like if they work together really well, they can pull off some awesome stuff and get around the everything the Dungeon Master can do.
And another thing that we do is that we have we're trying at least to nail it. Is that it's early right now, but that's the goal, to have a very good pacing on that, because the power of the Dungeon Master kind of escalates up and down throughout the match, to kind of simulate the pacing that we would like to see in the PvE game. So you see, he starts on Evil Tier 1, so he doesn't have too many monsters, doesn't have anything very impact. The heroes we start with a lot of resources, but as the match progresses, Dungeon Master escalates in power, and he gets the danger events, and things get crazy, things get hacked, and there's so many monsters on the screen. But if the heroes get through this, Dungeon Master is back to square one for a few minutes. So
and the thing is, really want it to be fun all the time for both, the sides. So the heroes have to be challenged, and the dungeon master has to feel like he's challenging the guys and really progressing to his objective of killing them.
Yeah, this ongoing process.
Yeah. So I did notice in the profile screen that there were levels of accounts, and when we played the version back in London, I think that was at the start of the year, there were some mentions of, well, your heroes eventually level up and you will be able to gain different kinds of weapons and tools and abilities and costumes. But what about for the Dungeon Master? Does that matter for him at all?
Yeah, it does. So as much as the Dungeon Master and the heroes, our philosophy is that you don't get better stuff, you get different stuff. So Dungeonland is about you improving as a player, not you improving your character or improving your stats. So pretty much as the heroes unlock new different kinds of abilities and possible combinations, Dungeon Master will be able to unlock lots of different stuff. So what you see now is very early, so we have very few spells. We have like 3 traits or something like that. We don't have the possession abilities that we want to have as customization. You see, you can press the space bar to do a teleport. We want to have multiple of those things. So instead of teleport, maybe get a shield to protect your monsters, things like that. Yeah. It's going to be very customizable.
Okay.
So as you play the matches, all those evil points that you get to fill your evil bar, they are going to convert in the end of the match as persistent points that you can use to unlock anything you want. Okay. So you're not going to be trapped. The heroes are not exactly trapped in a strict level progression, because you can find equipment as well.
Right.
But the Dungeon Master is completely free form, so you can unlock anything you want. So you're going to start probably with one boss, like 10 spells and 3 monsters and things like that, and you're going to be able to unlock anything you want. So just get a lot of points and unlock the Minor Cult. So that's the first thing I want to unlock, and just go.
Yeah, this just to give you more options. Yeah. Like in the end, we really want it to feel like a card game kind of thing. Like you can really build your deck of spells and monsters and stuff, and make a build that makes sense with your
and you've still got the element of randomness as well, because you're still having to draw from the deck. You may not necessarily get what you need, but you've got to use what you have in order to try and create a dangerous situation for people. Now, there is something that I did see in the older builds. We got a chance to experience it and got completely destroyed by it, which was, it was kind of like a fairground attraction. I think it involved frogs and explosions and horrible death. The question is, can that even happen with the Dungeon Master mode on? Is that a part of the level, or is that something you've maybe had to take away from the design process?
Now, this is something that exclusively on the PvE mode.
Right.
These are the trademark Dungeonland rides.
Okay.
So it's a theme park ride that you go through.
Mm-hmm.
Dungeon Master mode is actually a big ride inside the park.
Okay.
So you get inside this big Dungeon Master tower place where you play Dungeon Master mode. So it's a different environment.
Okay.
But on the PvE mode, since you don't have, you're not going to see all those spells and all those abilities from Dungeon Master. The rides and other things that we still haven't revealed yet, such as challenges and things like that, are going to offer you this dynamic experiences, different things that break the base.
The PvP is not. We're not going to be able, at least not now, to get the rides
involved in
exactly,
it. Yeah, of course.
Because what
how would you do it?
I throw just exploding frogs at you,
that's just douchebag Maximus. You don't really. That's not going to really help anyone.
It's probably going to happen at some point. It depends on what people want.
Yeah, sure. So I mean, your average session of Dungeon Master, bearing in mind that the PvE campaign is significantly longer, how long do you anticipate a session of Dungeon Master actually taking?
Right now is between 15 to 20 minutes, but it largely depends on which build the heroes are playing and skill, because you see, we just played with you a match where we were playing very defensively, and you were really giving us trouble, so it was a long match. I think it was something around 20 minutes, something like that. 25 minutes. But we saw, of course, when the heroes moves too fast, the match is short. But we saw complete matches with our QA guys when they went for extremely offensive, like glass cannon builds, and they got through like in 8-9 minutes.
Yeah, but of course it's very risky, so that's necessarily a good idea. So are you planning on having multiple environments for Dungeon Master mode, or will it always just be one map?
Actually, the map is randomly generated.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, it's randomly generated, and the thing we did is that we made it just like a board game, so we have Descent and all those kinds of games, and you just have the tiles.
Yeah.
So we made our randomized maps are made in a tile fashion, so we can always add new tiles and keep on make it, so you can randomize it.
Sure.
And we have lots of plans of expanding Dungeonland after release. So with the tile thing, we can also add, and we're planning to also add more cosmetic visuals. So we not only get different shape levels every time, when you're getting different looking levels, and maybe in the future you get even more variation on that.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds pretty damn awesome, quite frankly. Now, the question is, when is this coming out? Because the build that we played was pretty solid. My spider got stuck in the wall at one point, but it happened. You know, currently the build that you're showing us is in pre-alpha. So, what are you looking at for beta and release?
Well, for beta, we should be hitting that around September. If everything works according to plan, which is always sketchy when you're talking about game development.
Yeah, it will.
As an activity, but we're very, very confident it will. And our release date right now is Q1 2013.
Q1 2013, and PC game exclusively, or we're looking at consoles as well?
We're looking right now exclusively on Steam.
On Steam. Yep.
On Steam, okay, and how much?
Oh, we really wanted to keep it low, like the $10. It's 10 to 15.
Yeah, this is for Paradox to decide, but I think they think the same as we do, that as cheap as possible. We just want as many people as possible to experience this game.
Yeah, when people have fun with it.
Yeah.
So kind of Magicka price range, maybe with a full pack if
probably.
You know, if Paradox is feeling saucy, which they usually are. You know, let's be honest, that's kind of how they roll. Well, guys, thank you very much for doing this little interview, and of course for showing us the PvP mode of Dungeonland. Once this game enters beta, I have a feeling we might be playing just a little bit on live stream. We'll see how that one turns out. Check it out, folks. The URL that you need is in the description below this video. If for some reason you cannot read that URL, then these guys can tell you what the website is.
It's facebook.com/Dungeonland or paradoxplaza.com/game/Dungeonland.
Indeed, go and check out those sites right there for more information on Dungeonland. No doubt we'll be bringing Slaw to the viewers, live streaming to this as soon as it goes into beta. Sounds like a little bit of fun. Thanks a lot, guys, and best of luck with the game.
Thank you very much for playing.
My name is Totalbiscuit, and I will see you next time.